One way to measure the size of an angle is in degrees. To indicate the measure of an angle, write a lowercase m in front of the angle symbol. In the diagram, the measure of angle A is 62, or 62 degrees. You write this as m angle symbol A. We read it as the measure of angle A. Again, in this case, that's equal to 62. In this book, you will work only with degree measures. A circle has 360 degrees, so 1 degree is 1/360th of a circle. A protractor forms half a circle and measures angles from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. Take note, Postulate 1.7, the protractor postulate. Consider ray OB and a point A on one side of the line OB. Every ray of the form OA can be paired 1-to-1 with a real number from 0 to 180. The protractor postulate allows you to find the measure of an angle. Consider the diagram below. The measure of angle, COD, is the absolute value of the difference of the real numbers paired with ray OC and ray OD. That is, if ray OC corresponds with C, a number on the protractor, and ray OD corresponds with D, a second number on the protractor, then we can state the measure of angle COD equals the absolute value of the difference, C minus D. Notice that the protractor postulate and the calculation of an angle measure are very similar to the ruler postulate and the calculation of a segment length. You can classify angles according to their measures. The types of angles. First, acute angles. Here's an example. In this case, 0 is less than x, which is less than 90. Right angles. Shown here, x equals 90. Obtuse angles. Shown here, 90 is less than x, which is less than 180. And straight angles. An example here, x equals 180. Note a straight angle forms a line. An acute angle is an angle whose measure is between 0 and 90 degrees. An example is shown here on a protractor. A right angle is an angle whose measure is 90 degrees, shown here on a protractor. The symbol, half of a square, indicates a right angle. Note this symbol in the figure. An obtuse angle is an angle whose measure is between 90 and 180. Note the example. And a straight angle is an angle whose measure is 180. Note the example. Problem 2. Measuring and classifying angles. What are the measures of angle LKN, angle JKL, and angle JKN? Classify each angle as acute, right, obtuse, or straight. Use the definition of the measure of an angle to calculate each measure. First, the measure of angle LKN equals the absolute value of 145 minus 0, which equals 145. Since the measure of angle LKN is between 90 and 180, we can state that angle LKN is obtuse. Next, the measure of angle JKL equals the absolute value of 90 minus 145. That's 55. We can state, since the measure of angle JKL is between 0 and 90, angle JKL is acute. Finally, the measure of angle JKN equals the absolute value of 90 minus 0, and that's 90. Since the measure of angle JKN is 90, we can state angle JKL is right. Your turn. What are the measures of angle LKH, angle HKN, and angle MKH? Classify each angle as acute, right, obtuse, or straight.